Hey guys, it's John. I'm going to be answering how I made the TF2 medical because I've got a lot of questions about it. So, starting off, I actually have two versions of it. I have the version that I made from a regular lab coat, and then there's the version that I later bought because I wasn't happy with this one. I'll start off with the one you guys have seen. It's the one I bought off eBay for about $80, including shipping. As you can see, it's like a colonial style coat, but they put these patches on the sleeves. Now they're mostly okay. The gaps on the sides is very inconsistent though. It needs to be about this big. But what I'm least happy with is the fact that they put it on way too low on the sleeves. So I had to take my iron, remove it, and then put it back on but higher. The problem though is when you remove it, it leaves the iron marks from the glue, the adhesive, and it stays, so it's not a clean look anymore. It's noticeable. But that's what you get for eBay quality. Now, I really just bought it for the coat. As long as the coat was okay, I would be happy with it. And the coat was okay, but obviously it's not perfect. Now, here's what it also came with. So, it came with the belt, the pockets, and then it also came with. Do I have it here? Yes, I do. Here. It also came with the suspenders and some pants with it. The problem though is these pants, they're way too skinny and they don't stretch at all, and it's just like a cheap polyester fabric. And that's the problem. Like, I can't even bend my knees in the pants. And the pants are supposed to be really baggy. Like, if you look at the pictures of the medic, his pants are very baggy, so I can't use this at all. And then these suspenders, they were sewn onto the belt here. This is the belt. But the thing is, I didn't like it because the medic suspenders, they're very wide in the back, so this would be okay. But on the front, the suspenders get slimmer. So I didn't want to do that. I would rather just do this, which was buy some different suspenders in dark brown, not black, dark brown, so that way I could attach it to these, to the belt. Now, another thing to watch out for is if you ever make a cosplay with the medic, you can't use a regular, excuse me, you can't use a regular leather belt like this with regular suspenders. The problem is because the suspenders, they won't, you can't push it down onto a belt. It's too thick. You can't get it to lock in place. That's why you need to use a thin strip of leather or use a canvas belt like this, which is much thinner. This is what I used originally in my old version with this coat. Anyway, moving on. What I did was I only kept the pouches and the belt, but I took this off. It was originally sewn onto this belt. So bye-bye to that. And if you look at whoever made this, they put these slits, these what do you call these, belt loops for the belt. But the problem is it's too small to actually fit the belt. So I bought some stick-on Velcro, which is very strong. You can get this at Walmart for about $3. And I use that to attach the pockets onto the belt. But I'm still not completely happy with this because if you look at the medic's belts, they're not supposed to be the same size. One is supposed to be very long and tall, and the other one's supposed to be a lot wider. So I'm gonna end up, sewing them later, making one of them like really wide looking and then making the other one look very tall looking like this. But I'm not gonna do that until I have a school break. Now, next up, this is something I made myself, kind of. These were pirate boot covers. You can see this is the rest of the boot cover. So what I did was I took off this with a seam ripper and then I slimmed this down. This used to be super wide. It used to go like this. So I just slimmed it down to make it look more like World War II German boots with the high calf. And this is the look I got. I got this at Spirit Halloween after Halloween, so it was half off, like maybe $10. And then after that, I found these pants at the thrift store, right? So a thrift store, brown pants. These are women's pants actually. So if we look over here, the pockets don't go very deep. I can only go about this deep. So what I did was I sewn a deeper pocket extension on only the right side pocket. I'm gonna be doing the left side pocket too later, but right now I can't be bothered. I got these pants for maybe $10 but R5, it depends. The zipper was completely broken. So I had to sew in my own brown zipper, and look, it's basically professional. And then after that, I have two choices of ties for the costume. I have a regular necktie that you actually tie up, or I have a zipper necktie. Personally, I think you should go with a zipper necktie because it doesn't slide down over the course of the day compared to this regular necktie, which will always slip no matter how tight you make the knot. So get one of these zipper neckties in the exact length for you. The length of a necktie should be from here to the waistband of your pants. So right there. And as you can see, this one fits me perfectly, and the knot will always stay tight and never slip down on you. And lastly, some props. I have a syringe I got at Spirit Halloween after Halloween, so half off. And then there's this crossbow that's supposed to shoot D&D dice, but you have to break the mechanism because you can't have functioning props at Comic Cons or conventions, so it doesn't work. But it's basically a Crusader's crossbow. I'm gonna add on to it, but again, I can't do anything until I have a school break because that's too much fabricating. And then yeah, that's it. Basically my video on how to assemble your own medic costume. Real quickly before I forget, these are the boots that I got. They are $10 from the thrift store. And then you wear these with the boot covers on top like this. And as you can see, it blends pretty nicely, right? Yeah. Okay, real quickly about the gloves. So the gloves are probably I would say the second most important part about the costume besides the coat, because his gloves are very iconic. Now the one I bought off eBay came with these red satin opera gloves. Now these quite frankly are terrible because they're way too skinny, and when you roll them over your sleeves it bunches up, and it doesn't look good because of how tight and thin these gloves are. So what I would suggest is buying these red gauntlet gloves. These are one of the most expensive parts about the costume because I was not able to get it off the thrift store like I did with a lot of the other stuff. So I recommend leather gloves because they're quite baggy compared to other gloves you would buy. But most important because it's comfortable and it has the right vibrancy of red. It doesn't really pick up on camera too well because my room has a weird lighting. But this is a very nice red and your hands won't get too sweaty. I see people use dishwashing gloves, people using welder's gloves. And yes, those work. Those do look more lore accurate because they're rubber, but they're much less comfortable to wear. And then finally, I would recommend getting yourself some round glasses with the thinnest lenses you can, and by that I mean like the smallest diameter, because there's a lot of big nerd glasses where they're like really wide, but you want to get ones with the smallest frame circle possible because that's what it looks like on the medic's face. His glasses are a little too small for him. And yes, try to get round glasses. I used to wear my regular prescription glasses that were square shaped, but they just didn't look as good. And that's finally the end of the video.